Connorvale Park for the OCAA semi-final game between the St. Clair Saints and the Humber Hawks. First things first, here is the starting lineup for the Humber Hawks. Batting first, at number 3, Shea Hilbert. Batting second, number 2, Alexis Ferreira. Batting third, number 7, Reese Veloci. Batting fourth, number 15, Riley DeVries. Batting fifth, number 9, Michaela Tuck. Batting sixth, number 20, Amelia Russo. Batting seventh, number 12, Hannah Koziolik. Batting eighth, number 14, Melissa Honfeld. And batting ninth, number 5, Megan Muir. And now the starting lineup for the St. Clair Saints. Batting first, number 28, Shaylin Murphy. Batting second, number 16, Sierra Baltzer. Batting third, number 55, Amy Clayton. Batting fourth, number 13, Brianna Kressler. Batting fifth, number 1, Olivia Peterson. Batting sixth, number 26, Ashley Ventura. Batting seventh, number 2, Julia Brusso. Batting eighth, number 12, Jacqueline Uchin. And batting ninth, number 18, Judy LaFleur. First, our Humber Hawks seniors would like to congratulate the St. Clair seniors on their incredible careers. Would Julia, Brianna, Amy, and Jacqueline please come forward to accept a small gift from the Humber Hawks? Thank you for always being a great competition and best of luck in the future. Now to acknowledge our Humber Hawk seniors. First up is a two-time OCAA bronze medalist and graduate of the nursing program, number 6, Michaela Moore. Next up is a two-time OCAA All-Academic, a two-time OCAA bronze medalist, a 2019 OCAA champion, and a pre-health science paramedic and fire services graduate. Please give a round of applause to fifth-year senior Hannah Koziolik. Next is an athlete who has quietly made herself the best pitcher in Humber softball history, a two-time OCAA bronze medalist, a two-time OCAA championship all-tournament team member, a two-time OCAA all-academic, and a 2019 OCAA championship. Fifth-year senior and graduate of the paralegal education program, Megan Muir. Finally, maybe one of the best to ever do it in a Humber softball uniform, a two-time OCAA bronze medalist, a two-time CCSA all-tournament team member, a 2021 OCAA championship all-tournament team member, a three-time OCAA League All-Star, a two-time OCAA All-Academic, and a 2019 OCAA champion, a forensic identification and psychology graduate, fifth-year senior, Alexis Ferreira. Congratulations to all the graduates and best of luck in your future. Now please stand as you are able, remove your caps and... Oh yeah, please stand for O Canada.
Hello everybody and welcome into the third and final day of the 2023 OCAA Women's Softball Provincial Championship. My name is Zach Benoit, alongside me is my broadcast partner Matt Hamill. And Matt, it's the bronze medal game here. Loser wins the bronze. The winner will go on for a chance to win gold at the provincials here, and awaiting them is the Durham Lords.
Yeah, and a huge contest here, and like you said, this is to punch the way to that gold medal round against a very tough opponent in the Durham Lords, who so far in the provincial tournament, the Lords, who are awaiting to see their opponent in the next game, they have not suffered a loss. Now, the Humber Hawks falling yesterday at the hands of Durham, and for the St. Clair Saints also suffering the 1L so far in the tournament. Zach, we're going to be seeing Humber's ace, Shade Hansen, on the mound. It's going to be the best against the best as these teams leave it all out on the line. We know we're going to get some excellent competition once this game gets underway in just a few moments.
And we started with 6 teams here, and we're down to the final 3. And if you're wondering how we got here, the quick little recap looks like this. St. Clair and Durham had the byes on day number 1. And then you look at the bracket, the Lords faced off against the Mohawk Mountaineers. Humber faced off against St. Clair. After those matchups, Durham advanced to the winners finals and St. Clair advanced to the winners finals. And then yesterday's action, Humber faced off against the Mohawk Mountaineers, and they won, and that's where we sit right now. Durham won the winners finals, knocking St. Clair to the loser side of the bracket. And partner, this is going to be it. These are the 3 best teams remaining in the OCAA, but not only in the OCAA, in the entire country. This was the matchup we had as well at the national championship out in British Columbia. Yep. It was the Durham Lords finishing 2nd, St. Clair finishing 1st, and Humber capturing the bronze. Let's see if it can get a little bit mixy here, if anything could change with those medals from the nationals to now.
And we're going to be seeing, Zach, a couple of players in their last opportunity to play OCAA softball. We had that seniors ceremony just before the game that we saw here on the Hawks Sports Network. So you got to think there's a couple of veteran players, key players on both sides who are seeing this is potentially their last game with their college. You got to think they're going to be laying it out on the line. The intensity has been great the entire tournament. Here we are on the final day, moments away. It'll be Humber up to bat first, and St. Clair will be trusting their pitcher, Brianna Kressler. No surprise there. That's one of the best players in the OCAA, partner. Yeah,
the 2022 OCAA Player of the Year. She also won the MVP honors in the provincial tournament last year. And one of those seniors that could be playing in her potentially her final game in a St. Clair Saints uniform. We'll go down the line and look at a couple of the other players that were given the honors. You look at Amy Clayton, again, Brianna Kressler, number 2, Julia Brusso, and number 12, Jacqueline Uchen. They all got, I believe, a rose, yellow rose, or some type of flower. I'm not really up to date on my flowers.
Is this the Bachelor or the
not quite sure.
Ceremony pre-game?
Yeah. They all
Bachelor on the mind. I just watched an episode of The Golden Bachelor for the first time last night. Zach. Good program.
But yeah, all those players on the side of St. Clair receiving a flower from Humber Hawks, players that are playing in their final season. You look at some of them. Hannah Koziolek, Megan Muir, Alexis Ferreira, and Michaela Moore, the 4 that are retiring here for the side of Humber. Leading things off for Humber, none other, it'll be Shay Hilpert. She's been atop this lineup, well, ever since she joined the OCAA, and tournament hasn't been going the way she's been hoping. A little bit of a struggle so far, but for the most part, Hilpert has been a steady presence at the top of the lineup. Let's see if she can get things rolling early here. First pitch, and we're underway on Medal Day here at Connorvale Park.
Gotta like the blue and white jerseys for the Humber Hawks. The Saints in their green and yellow.
Hilpert watching strike 2 go by so quickly behind 0-2, and this is kind of what we saw yesterday in the winners quarterfinal match between Humber and St. Clair. Kressler getting ahead early in counts, pretty much dominating the strike zone. Ahead here again. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off.
We'll see if Hilpert can make something happen for the Hawks. You know, Zach, a lot of these contests against the Saints this year have not gone Humber's way. Obviously looking for a hot start to help turn the tide there.
Big cut, an off speed in the dirt, throw to first. It's not going to matter. So first batter face for Kressler, first strikeout of the ball game.
You know, Zach, there was a doubleheader between St. Clair and Humber towards the end of the regular season. The first game of that doubleheader on October 14th, just 1 week ago, St. Clair won 6-5. Then they won the following game 12-1. So Humber looking to really turn things around after a couple losses to St. Clair.
Yeah, in that game, that first matchup, Humber had the lead going into the bottom of the 7th, and then it was Sierra Baltzer on the side of St. Clair hitting a 2-run homer to tie that game, and eventually St. Clair would win it in extra innings. Alexis Ferreira, 5th-year player. She got her honors before this game. Really one of the best players we've seen in program history. Fouls this one to the back. And just to name some of her accolades, I'm sure you heard it over our PA system. 2-time bronze medal, OCAA bronze medalist, 2019 OCAA provincial champion, and a 2-time all-tournament team member as well. There's so many accolades for number 2 on the side of Humber. I mean, she's had a stellar career, the best power hitter in program history. Really has done it all for the Humber Hawks. Here's the 2-2. Ferreira hits it, second. On a bounce, a little bit of a bobble though. Not in time. Hustling down the line there was Ferreira.
Big play from Ferreira, Zach, and you know, you're looking at a Humber Hawks team who have faced off against St. Clair 6 times this season, this being the 7th. Humber has not won any of those matchups against St. Clair, so look for a player like number 2, Ferreira, to help one of those leaders to find that W today on the way to the gold medal round.
Yeah, and we saw this yesterday as well. Ferreira was the first base runner for the Hawks. She walked and got stranded at second. Now it'll be first-year player Reese Veloci, who was named to the all-rookie team this year. She had a stellar year at shortstop for the Humber Hawks. Behind here quickly, 0-2 again. Kressler not wasting any time. Again, this is typically what we see out of Brianna Kressler. Works quick, is in the zone. Let's see if Veloci can work a count here. So she chased the high one, appealed down to first. Yes, she did. Goes around on that one. So 2 outs and 2 strikeouts for Kressler.
DeVries has had some big shots here in the tournament, Zach. A big home run that you called earlier in the tournament.
She's had a stellar season, too, as well. So quickly, back-to-back pitches where these Hawks are chasing that riser. And again, partner, if executed right, the rise ball could be one of the most dangerous to face. You mentioned, though, DeVries hit that homer. Well, she had 4 in the regular season, second in the OCAA in RBIs. Not chasing that off-speed in the dirt. Only player that was ahead of her in RBIs, it's the one that's on the mound, Brianna Kressler. She had 45.
Yeah, what a weapon Brianna Kressler is, the dual threat amid a number of weapons for this St. Clair team.
Big cut at a high fastball, missing for strike 2. We've seen the bats for the Hawks. They woke up a little bit against that Mohawk Mountaineers team yesterday. Not chasing the riser there. Good to hold back by DeVries, so 2-2 count.
You mentioned Riley DeVries, tied for second in the OCAA in home runs, tied with her teammate Hannah Koziolek and Clayton of St. Clair. The 2 leaders in home run hitting for the OCAA this year are both on the Saints.
Ground ball hits second, throwing to first in time for out number 3. So, again, a quick first inning for Brianna Kressler. Sets the side down relatively easy. And now we'll look to Shade Hansen on the side of Humber to try to shut down the St. Clair Saints.
And just to finish that thought, Zach, the 2 home run leaders in the course of the OCAA regular season, Sierra Baltzer and Brianna Kressler. So many dangerous hitting opportunities for this St. Clair team. We'll see if Humber's pitching ace, Shade Hansen, the OCAA Pitcher of the Year and Rookie of the Year, as we've mentioned, she will be very much looked to by this Humber squad to find a win against St. Clair.
And again, like you said, the first-year player, Shade Hansen. All rookie team, Rookie of the Year, Pitcher of the Year. The accolades are just kind of stacked up for Shade.
And as Shade walks to the mound, the real Slim Shady, an appropriate song for the occasion, wouldn't you say, Zach?
It's a great song. I mean, very, very smart of Hansen to pick this one, I won't lie.
Yeah, you know, Shade Hansen, a colorful character. I hear tell through the grapevine as a theater kid. You know, the style is off the hook. And just a unique individual who happens to be a tremendous softball pitcher. And Humber really happy to have what looks to be the pitching of the team in good hands in years to come. You talk about a rookie season going well. Number 19 has been dynamite. We'll see if Zach, she can lead the charge here. Again, like I mentioned, so many matchups against St. Clair for Humber this season. The Hawks have not found a win in any of those matchups.
Yeah, the closest matchup, again, was that first game in St. Clair just a week ago, where they had the lead going into the 7th, and again, the walk-off, or excuse me, the game-tying home run in the bottom half of the 7th, and then the St. Clair Saints were able to walk it off in extras. But that'll bring up a tough leadoff batter in Shaylin Murphy. 505 average in the regular season, really was a staple point of this offense whenever she got on base. First pitch to Murphy, she's gonna leave it down low for ball 1. Really good year all around for St. Clair. Team batting average 441 on base, 479. First pitch, strike 1 right there.
St. Clair has scored more runs in this season than any other OCAA team, with 267 runs for in the regular season, only 41 against. That's also the stoutest defense in the league as well, Zach, allowing the least runs of any team.
I brought it up yesterday during that Durham-St. Clair match. 231 RBIs on the year, and 136 of them coming from their top 4 batters in the lineup. Ground ball hit to Veloci, taken on a hop throw across the diamond. In time, nice pick over there at first by Honfeld.
Good scoop, zipping it over to first. And we have a fan in the stands, Zach, who's making noise with looks like a rubber chicken.
Yep, partner, if you haven't seen it, the Humber Hawks softball team, well, they've established the rubber chickens as a part of their rituals here.
I see one in the dugout.
There's about 4 or 5 of them. First pitch here to Baltzer. Ball 1, and Sierra Baltzer, a sensational season, third-year player. You look at what she was able to do. Led the league with 43 runs scored. Has incredible speed on the bases. Really can turn anything into an extra base hit. Led her team with 22 extra base hits.
We've seen her ball out, Zach, and particularly here at Connorvale Park. Some major plays over the course of the season, and obviously has continued that here at the OCAA Championship Tournament.
With consistent playing time, I was looking at the stats the other day. Only player with a slugging over 1,000, and that's, partner, that's hard to do. That's not anything light, and to have a stat like that, really, we saw Gracie Hearns take away MVP honors. Baltzer probably right behind her in the voting. Ahead here 2-1 though, now 3-1.
You know, Baltzer is from LaSalle, Ontario, by way of Sandwich Secondary School, but I'll tell you what, she looks right at home here in Etobicoke. She's played some good softball right here on Humber's home diamond this season.
In there, full count here, 3-2. Good battle back by Shade Hansen. You look at what she's been able to do. She has great speed, but didn't steal a whole lot. Only 10 stolen bases. Here's a 3-2 from Hansen. Inside half missing for ball 4. So Baltzer will walk. She did that 5 times and only struck out twice in the regular season.
So number 16 now parked on first, and that brings up Clayton to the plate.
And Amy Clayton, who's had a fantastic pro season. You look at what she did against the Hawks. 4 RBIs, a big 3-run home run off of Hansen over that left field wall. Going, Sierra Baltzer takes off, throw not going to be in time, and there's the speed displayed right there by number 16.
Clayton, a big weapon for these Saints. She tied for second in team hitting with 43 hits on the year, behind only Shaylin Murphy, who led the Saints with 46 in the regular season.
Clayton also took home the batting championship. It was a .559 batting average in the regular season. And again, this is the dangerous part of this St. Clair lineup. You look at Shaylin Murphy, Sierra Baltzer, Amy Clayton, Brianna Kressler. This top 4, it's a lethal top 4 with what they've been able to do. Second pitch missing there, so count falling behind is Hansen, 2-1. It doesn't get easier, like I said. Kressler on deck. She led the league with RBIs, 45. No other player scoring over 40. So here's a 2-1. Fouled on to the backstop.
Zach, it's a windy one here at the park today. We're looking like we're holed off on the showers, which is good news after it's been a wet tournament thus far, but the winds are a-blowing today. You'll see if that's a factor.
And up the middle through into center field. Baltzer's getting the red light over at third. Thought she was going to go home for a second. And Clayton, again, continues a hot streak she's had here in the postseason. Another hit. And again, the 2022 Player of the Year, Brianna Kressler, steps up in her 5th and final year at Kitchener, Ontario. Here's the first pitch. Popped up to the backstop, but it's going to sail out of play.
2 on for the Saints. A big opportunity for the visiting team here to get some early game runs and put Humber down in the hole. See if the Hawks can battle back here.
High outside, count going here 1-1. Again, it's a tall task when you're asked to face this St. Clair Saints team. A lot of good hitters, a lot of players that'll draw out the count. Here goes the 1-1. Off speed in there, nice pitch to get ahead here. 1-2.
Now, Zach, you've been hearing the noise of those rubber chickens the past few days. Does it wear on you after a while, or is it just background noise?
You know, I kind of forgot they're there. You just hear it so much.
It's like living by the train tracks.
Hit to second. Russo makes the catch. And best case scenario right there, was going to say Kressler is one of the only players not to strike out this year, but gets weak contact on that one and a big second out.
Yeah, brings up Olivia Peterson, a first-year player. And Zach, like you mentioned, that was a good play for the Hawks, securing that second out. Can they get out of the first inning, keeping the Saints off the board? That would be huge for this Humber team. Still looking for their first win against the Saints this year.
Big cut out of first pitch fastball for strike one. And yeah, you said Peterson in her first year, 333 average, had some consistent playing time, appeared in 23 games, 72 at-bats, and 24 hits. You look at second base with Peterson and behind the dish with Ventura, they're really looking good for the future. St. Clair, you have a strong catcher and a strong second baseman.
You know, one thing we've heard head coach Dwayne Bowles, as assistant coach Maddie Pasma makes her way to the mound for a discussion. You know, head coach Dwayne Bowles has said that Shade Hansen, this pitcher, not phased. He really, when scouting this player, noticed that in those high-pressure situations was just more often than not rocking a smile, keeping it pretty cool. So the Hawks got to like the sort of calm, cool, and collected nature of this rookie in a bit of a high-pressure situation here early in the game, looking to end this inning without number 3 and an 0-1 count.
Yeah, and you look at Shade Hansen when she pitches, always has that big smile on her face, like you're saying, partner. There's been times, though, where she looks dead serious, and you know when she's like that, it gets scary. Second pitch in there for strike 2, and working quickly here, 0-2. Trying to strand some runners on bases, Hansen. This is almost identical to what happened in yesterday's game. St. Clair took a 1-0 lead in the first. Can Shade counteract that here? Here's the pitch. Foul to the backstop.
A rookie-on-rookie matchup right now between the batter, Peterson, and the pitcher, Hansen. Who gets the advantage here? Can Peterson get home the first run of the game for the team from Windsor?
Ground ball pulled foul. She's just staying alive down there. And again, you got to remember, every one of Shade Hansen's pitches, well, they all move. Nothing is a straight line. She has the rise ball, the screwball, the curveball. Everything is curling in, out, or up. So as a pitcher, as a hitter, you got to pick a spot, sit there, and that's where your zone is. Can Hansen get out of the inning? Here's the pitch. Fouled on back again. Credit Olivia Peterson here, having a really good at-bat against a strong pitcher.
Cloudy skies, 12 degrees, and a nice wind here today at Connorvale Park in Etobicoke, Ontario.
Here comes the 0-2. Chases the riser for strike 3. Stranded 2 on bases, St. Clair, and Shade Hansen gets out of it.
That's got to be big for the Hawks' confidence. Zach will run back some of those plays from that bottom of the first. Shade Hansen's pitching leading the way, and that's what the Hawks are surely leaning on here today. Here's that final strikeout as she puts it up high and strikes out Peterson.
And it's big to have a first inning like that against the top half of the St. Clair lineup. Really limited the damage. Got Shaylin Murphy to ground out, Kressler to line out, and then Peterson striking out. Really good job to get it, bottom half of the order. This was the big story against Durham yesterday for St. Clair, was the bottom about 4 or 5 hitters. They really struggled. I think they were only able to get across 3 or 4 hits. And almost about, I'm trying to do the math here. I can just flip the page here in my scorebook. Carry the one, look at the scorebook real quick. Yeah, they each had about 4 at-bats and only 4 hits amongst the 5 bottom hitters in the St. Clair lineup. That was really the story of why Durham was able to run away with it. They had a great pitching performance from Emily Glendining, and, well, now Humber will try to get some runs.
Well, fitting that just moments ago, Zach, we had Snoop Dogg playing on the speakers.
Yeah, I saw you
Yesterday
zoning
was
out a little
Snoop
bit there.
D-O-double-G's birthday. I was
Shout
waiting for
out
an opening
Snoop
to
Dogg.
drop that little tidbit.
First pitch here, Michaela Tuck is in there for a strike, and Tuck had a big fly over the left field wall yesterday. Her first one in 3 years, partner. Or excuse me, 2 years since her rookie campaign.
Long Beach, California, Snoop Dogg. I'm still hung up.
You're still hung up on Snoop Dogg,
on the
eh?
dog father.
D-O-double-G.
So here come the Hawks with the offensive opportunity. Who's going to drive home the first run of this game?
And Michaela Tuck, strong back catcher, and really does a really good job at calling games for her team. Really kind of like a commander back there. Not chasing the outer half pitch there. You see Cron Kressler's face. She wanted that call. Look at the season for Tuck. Well, she only got better, and she's gotten better as the years go on. A 405 average and a 538 on-base percentage. Gets on base over half the time she steps up. Fouled on right in front of us. Looking at the season Michaela Tuck had, 4 stolen bases. She was caught stealing once, 11 RBIs, 12 walks, and 1 strikeout. A really good player at the plate. Inside half, and she's worked this all the way back from 0-2 to 3-2. Here's the full pitch, full count pitch. Outside half, ooh, and you see Brianna Kressler, she wanted that call, but doesn't get it. Michaela Tuck goes over to first.
Good start in this inning for the Humber Hawks. No outs, 1 on base. Amelia Russo brings the energy. Let's see if the Kelowna product can keep things going in a positive direction for the Hawks.
Big day at the plate yesterday for number 20. She had a solo home run that she hit to left field, and then she hit one off the wall after Balter went crashing through the wall to try to make that catch. Been having a sensational postseason run here. She played in less games this year, started off injured. Watches that one go by for ball 1, and Mila Russo last year was a starting shortstop. Dwayne Bowles brought in Reese Velocci. Now Velocci playing short, Russo moving over to second, and it's a very good infield tandem. Those two, you know, it's like peas in a pod over there in the middle infield.
Yeah, you know, talking to Coach Dwayne Bowles about some of the movements, some of the changes, taking players, swapping out positions. He's pretty happy with the chemistry, with the results of some of those changes. Hawks finishing 3rd in the OCAA of the regular season. Record of 19-5. St. Clair and Durham both finished 22-2.
Pop-up hit here, but out of play. Russo fighting up there. Like you mentioned, second-year player of Kelowna, BC. Making her presence known here for Humber. Impact player, high energy, like you mentioned, always seems to have a smile on her face. Not chasing that one. And a fantastic location there on that pitch. Catching the outside corner, looked like another off-speed.
All right, well, that brings up Hannah Koziolek, a good player for Humber to look to in terms of trying to advance the inning here. Got that walk to open things up, followed by the out.
Koziolek squares around a bunt, pulls it back, but still called a strike. I think the scary thing here with Brianna Kressler on the mound is when she gets into a rhythm. You see here, she's working quick, getting on the mound, gets her sign, and she's delivering. If you're the Hawks, you gotta find a way to disrupt that rhythm somehow. And again, quickly here, behind 0-2 is Koziolek.
Number 12 at the plate. Cook up a big moment for her team.
Outside pitch, not chasing it.
Good eye that time to help get the count moving in the right direction here.
You see a little bit of tendencies when Kressler's pitching right now. She's coming inside early, and then she goes outside with that off speed later in the counts. See if she goes back to the well again. She does, but Koziolek hits this down the right field line, down for a base hit. Tucks going around second, on her way to third. No throw, cut off by Kressler, and a big hit for Hannah Koziolek.
And she's fired up on first base, too. Looking back towards the Humber dugout. Koziolek has every right to be amped up right now. That is a big play. And, you know, Zach, we talked about the St. Clair team. They've allowed the fewest runs of any team all season. Obviously, their pitching and strength at the pitching position is a big part of that. Big for Humber here in the second inning. 1 out, 2 on. Get some offense going against a very tough Saints team.
Connorvale swings at that one and just a tick behind it. And yeah, you mentioned this. It's going to be like a boxing match here. Two teams just kind of going at it. The pitchers for sure, Kressler and Hansen, just two juggernauts throwing strikes. Second pitch, no play on, and stolen base, but down in the count now. 0-2 here is Melissa Honfeld. Earlier in the season, she hit a big home run off of Kressler here at home, but struggled with the bat just a little bit later on in the half. Here's the 0-2. Another big cut, strike 3, and she'll be retired.
Megan Muir up now, and what is potentially her final game as a Humber Hawk if the Hawks will drop this matchup today.
Pulls this left field line. It's deep, but hooking foul. Got every stitch of it, just a little bit too out in front. And you mentioned fifth-year player of Brampton, Ontario. And really the career accolades for Megan Muir, identified herself as one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in program history. 2019 OCAA provincial champion and a 2-time OCAA bronze medalist. Just a sensational career for number 5. Behind here, 0-1. Check swing. Over to first, caught there by Uchin, and that will retire the side. Humber, they leave 2 stranded as we head to the top half of the second. Or bottom half of the second, excuse me.
Well, tough ending there for the Hawks to not drive any home and keep this a scoreless game after 1.5 innings. But, Zach, I would say a little bit of a moral victory in terms of some offensive juice showing there. Let's take a second look here at the 3 outs of the inning here on the Hawks Sports Network.
Yeah, it started with the strikeout looking on Amelia Russo. Just, a great location with that off-speed pitch. You got a nice call there, partner. And then the high fastball on Melissa Honfeld. And here, looks like it was a little bit of a check swing from Muir. Yeah, it was. A little bit of a half swing, didn't get all of it, and just flies out to Jacqueline Uchin over there at first. So for the side of St. Clair, it'll look like this. Ashley Ventura, Julia Brusso, and Jacqueline Uchin. The 3 due up to bat.
Shade Hansen looking to pick up where she left off, keeping the Saints off the board, which is no easy task. Again, we mentioned the defensive strengths of St. Clair. Offensive firepower is another big facet of their game. Shade Hansen has her work cut out for her, but partner, in her rookie year with the Humber Hawks, number 19 has seemed unfazed in these types of situations, but this is a long haul here in this bronze medal game.
Long road to go still. A lot of softball to be played today. Shade Hansen, she's trying to will her squad there to that gold medal match. Here's the first pitch to Ventura. Catching the knees on the inner half there for strike 1.
Zach, potentially 3 games on the schedule today. Here the bronze medal game, and then the winner goes on to face Durham. If Durham loses that first game, we'll have a 3rd softball matchup here today at Connorvale Park. But at least 1 more game after this one.
Yeah, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there for the 3rd game of the day. Right now, see what happens here. Ground ball hit. Backhand, nice play by Melissa Honfeld, and that's out number 1.
Smooth operator at first base with the scoop. Easy touch of the bag.
Julia Brusso will step up now, and she was one of the players that received one of those flowers pre-game. Again, Humber Hawks players were just honoring St. Clair seniors that are no longer playing anymore after the conclusion of this one.
Brousseau, a third-year player by way of Lakeshore, Ontario.
Watch that one go by, so she's quickly ahead here, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Catch in the inner half on the knees there for strike one. And this is something Shade Hansen has to do if she wants to kind of attack this lineup, is just pick her spots. We know how good she is at finding corners and pitching, and we've seen what she's been able to do all year long. Big cut of the fastball right there. 2-2 goes the count. Mentioned it earlier in the year when we pulled out the pocket radar. Obviously, it's not 100% accurate. It might be a 2 or 3 miles per hour off. Had Shade Hansen sitting around 65. That ball skied to center field. It's going back. It's deep. It's gone. Julia Brousseau opens up the scoring with a deep fly to center field.
Yeah, major pop off that bat. That thing well clear of the fence and touching down for the solo run shot in the first run of the game. St. Clair up by a single.
Yeah, it's similar to what we saw in the last matchup. Shade Hansen falls behind, tries to battle back and just misses that one there. And again, a lot of wind here today, partner, so if you get that ball up in that jet stream, it's going to take off, and that's what we just saw happen.
Yeah, you said it, partner. It is a strong wind, and that's just kind of the weekend and the couple days we've had of weather for this tournament. Clouds, rain. Thankfully, the showers holding off for today thus far.
Uchin grounded her over to third. Throw across in time, so one pitch and out right there for Jacqueline Uchin. But again, St. Clair, they open up the scoring for the second time, or second day in a row, excuse me, I should say, against the Humber Hawks. Brings up a dangerous player in the 9 spot, Judy LaFleur, who, let me tell you, she has had a sensational postseason batting out of the 9 hole. Constantly is flipping over the lineup to get to the four-headed monster, I guess you can say, at the top. Really good player here for St. Clair, right fielder today. She's ahead 1-0. Big cut at the riser, missing, 1-1.
The wind is coming out of the northwest, Zach, so that's going to be kind of taking balls along that third baseline, maybe blowing it a bit to the left into that foul territory. But certainly a chance to help carry some of these hits a bit further with that wind working in the favor.
Here's the 2-1 here to LaFleur. Ground ball hit back up the middle. Nice snag by Hansen. Throwing a first in time, so it will retire the side. But St. Clair strikes first. It's the big fly to center field off the bat of Julia Brousseau to open up the scoring. We'll take one more look at it here, partner.
Well, that was so far the lone score of the game. That big pop, and Hansen sees it go. And that's going to be the extent of the damage in that inning, just the solo run shot.
Yeah, it looked like a pitch that got left up, and credit Brousseau, she went up there and she got it. But to this point, yeah, that's really been the biggest hit of the day for either side. Anna Koziolek had the liner over to right. Yeah, another look at it right here. Just, she reaches up for it, and you know, sometimes you got to credit. It makes a good piece of bat on it and just takes it into that jet stream.
And there it goes, clearing that fence by a healthy margin. And that's got to be, again, a little bit of that offensive momentum building in favor of the Saints. This is a team that's used to scoring, and they've had some big offensive performances against these Humber Hawks. We mentioned that 12-1 victory against Humber just 1 week ago. So Hawks looking to not allow the Saints to channel that kind of offensive firepower. So far, Shade Hansen on the mound has done a solid job, but it's the Hawks who now grab their bats and look to even up the score, or perhaps put a few on the board and find their first lead of the game.
And again, this is far from over. These two teams, they want to face off against Durham in that gold medal match. Hilpert back up, and she's swinging at that one, but it'll go foul. And again, you see the signs behind home plate, and the one holding
signs plural because
there is a sign for everybody.
Multiple, yeah, that's a whole stack she's holding on to right now.
That's Hawks alum Jessica McPherson, and yeah, she has one of the rubber chickens as well. Pulled this one to second, over to first, in time by like half a step. Wow,
very close.
Hilpert was hustling down that line.
Now, Jessica McPherson holding the signs behind home plate. Of course, a former dual sport athlete here at the Humber College Athletic Universe, but she's actually moving to Florida for a coaching role, and we're going to miss the spirit, the heart and soul of our Humber Hawks cheering section when she takes off to the Sunshine State.
I think you hear. I'm pretty sure you can hear her on our headphones, but yeah, she will be missed. She's very loud in the bleachers when the basketball season, volleyball seasons commence, and you hear her. She's being loud here today.
Might be able to hear her cheering when she's all the way down in Florida. If I was a betting man, I'd say
take the over. So Ferreira quickly down here, 0-2, trying to help her squad. Chases the riser for strike 3. Reese Valachi stepping up here. Went down swinging her last time up. Not chasing that riser, so head of the count 1-0. Catching the outside corner, and that off speed for Kressler has been deadly, to say the least, of what she's been able to do of locating it on the outer half. If you're Humber, you just got to try to start taking that pitch the other way. Right back to the well, and I mean, that's just good pitching from Kressler.
You know, we talked about Jess McPherson holding the signs there behind home plate as a dual sport athlete, playing both softball and basketball. Brianna Kressler, same deal, also playing a bit of basketball for St. Clair.
Grounder, Squibbler hit to third. Gronden over to first in time. So 1, 2, 3 go the Hawks in the third inning. But again, it's more so Brianna Kressler just showing up. Another look at the strikeout here to Ferreira. It was the riser that got Ferreira chasing.
Now, Zach, more Snoop Dogg playing on the speakers here. Of course, Snoop D-O-double-G's birthday yesterday. If you had to guess, what age is Snoop Dogg now after yesterday's birthday? Where would you peg Snoop Dogg at?
Can't be any age over 48. Has to be 47.
52.
Really? He looks fantastic for his age.
I would agree.
So the toughest part of the lineup better come up. Shaylin Murphy leading things off, Sierra Balter to follow, then Amy Clayton batting third.
Well, Shade Hansen is laid back with their money on her mind. So far has looked strong, allowing just that big pop on the home run from the St. Clair Saints in that second inning. So far, Humber's offense has just not really been super threatening. The second inning worked out well for the Hawks, couple on base, but ultimately a check swing popped up, ending that inning. No offense there. In the top of the third. And Shaylin Murphy, top of the batting order for the Saints. Look out.
Again, dangerous hitter in the leadoff spot. And we nonstop talk about it, and it's probably been the topic of the OCAA for the entirety of the year. This top 4 in the batting order for St. Clair. So strong. Murphy, you're going to watch that one go by. Looked like an off-speed, just missed the outside half, slipped off the glove there of Tuck. Here comes the 1-1. Low inside.
Such a heavyweight tilt, Zach, right now. This matchup is just airtight. No team allowing much of a room for a margin of error. Who's going to crack first?
Here comes 2-1. Low again in the dirt. Nice block behind the plate. And seeing the first signs, a little bit of frustration out of Shade Hansen. You kind of see her shaking her head with some of those pitches. Not where she wanted to locate them. We obviously know she holds herself to a very high standard. Here comes the 3-1. Pop fly hit over to the right side. Going to be way out of play. And bounce right over onto the baseball diamond behind us.
Shaylin Murphy at the plate here for St. Clair. A big vocal leader in the dugout. Seen that, really bringing the energy. Looking to spark of energy. Actually a leadoff hit here. The full count.
Watch that one go by high for ball 4. And brings up another dangerous batter in Sierra Baltzer.
Yeah, the hardest working woman in show business, Sierra Baltzer.
Yeah, before the season, she laughed at the conversation we had last year with the home run she was hitting, the power she possesses, chasing the high riser there. And she said to me, she's like, I'm scared I'm going to slump this year. Well, part of the slump never came. It was only a hot streak the entirety of the season.
Consider looking at property in Etobicoke, because she seems right at home here and has played so well in front of us here at Connorvale Park.
Watch that one go by. I think the only struggle really we've seen out of her this year was that last game against Durham, 0 for 4. Emily Glendinning just kind of poised her way past that St. Clair lineup. Here's the pitch from Hansen. Just missing inside. Good take.
So 2-1 count.
Head on the count here. Here's the pitch from Hansen. A little squibbler off the handle.
Yeah, we talked about Baltzer standing 5'3", but certainly channels a lot of power into her hitting.
This pitch, just a tick behind it, but still gets a piece. Staying alive at the plate here is 16 in green.
Baltzer tied for the league high, only with her teammate in terms of home runs, hitting 6 on the year.
She also hit a couple at the national championship out in BC. Popped up here, out of play, foul.
Of course, a home run by Julia Brousseau is our only score of the game thus far. It's giving St. Clair that 1-0 lead. No outs yet for Humber here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Out in front of that, she gets a hold of it. Going back left field, it's gone. We talked about the power in the bat from Sierra Baltzer. Well, she shows off right there. 2-run shot to left field gives the Saints a 3-0 lead.
Almost right on cue. We talked about the home run hitting power. There's a huge one here in this bronze medal game. Remember, whoever loses this game, season's over. Bronze medal will be the result. And now we see Coach Dwayne Bowles taking Hansen out of this game. That'll be it for the rookie, the OCAA Pitcher of the Year, the Rookie of the Year. And in her place will step in Zoe Skugel, another first-year player looking to give the Hawks a spark. That was a big home run shot. You talk about HSN turning points. I mean, we're going to have to see the Hawks really drum up some magic to help swing the tide back in their favor. But 3-0 deficit. Manageable, but right now St. Clair sitting pretty, and a new pitcher into the game for the Humber Hawks by way of Springwater, Ontario.
Yeah, you said it, partner. I mean, you look at this St. Clair lineup, 22 home runs in the regular season, 2 here today in this game, and that's just a big part of their game. They have a lot of power, and we just saw it on display again from Baltzer. But for the side of Humber, well, we'll bring in Zoe Skugall. She'll come in and take over the pitching duties.
First pitch for Zoe coming up, and a tough assignment right out the gate, taking on the champion of hitting this season in the OCAA.
Clayton's going to watch that one go by for strike 1.
Clayton, the batting champion, and yeah, she'll get a strike from Skugall right off the hop. Durham Lords awaiting in the wings for who their opponent will be. The 2 o'clock start time for that game.
Shot right back up the middle, almost hitting Zoe Skugall on the way up, but another base hit.
And that's good news for St. Clair as they continue offensive production. New pitcher in the game, getting a quick hit. Still no outs here in this bottom of the 3rd. It's just one of those innings where the offense gets humming. Humber's going to have to try to turn things around here, lest the St. Clair Saints continue to tack on some runs here.
Not chasing the high one there is Kressler. Mentioned it, 5th and final year for Brianna Kressler, a very decorated player. Only her 2nd year in the OCAA. She played down at Wayne State, softball down there for 3 years. Watches that go by for strike 1. Here comes a 2-1. Line shot to second, stopped on a hop, flip over to second base, in time.
Well played there. The initial bobble, but the recovery and a nice little unconventional flick over to second base. That'll get Clayton out. And Zach securing that first out of the inning has been quite elusive. Let's see if the Hawks can kind of pick up where they left off here. Get the 2nd and 3rd in short order.
First pitch to Olivia Peterson in there for strike 1. Peterson struck out swinging her last time up. Grounder hit right back to Skugall. She's going to flip to second, but not going to be in time. So tried to opt for the double play, but just couldn't get that speedy Kressler. She was hustling down the line to second.
It's tough. You know, these outs have been hard to come by here for the Hawks in this inning. And a missed opportunity there. Let's see if the Hawks can recover.
Ashley Ventura, the backstop. Fouled this one off over towards the dugout. Ventura, the all-rookie team and first-team All-Star this year. She had a sensational first year as a St. Clair Saint. Very good backstop. And St. Clair, they have a good player for years to come. Line shot right up the middle, hits Russo. She'll step on the base for 2. Line out to Amelia Russo, and she gets the double play. Nice play for the Hawks second baseman.
Yeah, major there, and we talked about the missed out as that throw just a play ago didn't make it over to second, but how about this? The line drive off the bat, quick grab, and getting that 2nd and 3rd out. Gorgeous stuff there. As the Hawks will be down 3-0 after 2 home runs in this game, have brought home 3 on the board for St. Clair. How about that, Zach? Just a quick grab, but this puts a lot of pressure, I think, Zach, on the Humber Hawks batters here in this inning. And you see they're huddled up right now just on the left side of your screen. And you got to think the Hawks are getting the address from head coach Dwayne Bowles saying, hey, you know, right now is the time to get in gear offensively. And there's been some bright spots, Zach. Nothing has touched the plate yet for the Hawks. Still scoreless here in this game, but a big inning on the way here. Let's see if Brianna Kressler can continue to shut out the Hawks. And let's take one more look at the home run, Zach. And this was just a big pop and a big moment in this game from Balzer.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of hit, and you see it's on the outer half. She goes out and gets it and just pulls it down the left field line. You said it. I mean, she's shown that she has the power, and one of the best players we've seen in the OCAA this year. Really, you know, again, we talked about Gracie Hearns for Durham, who won MVP. Balzer almost right behind her, really, with some of the numbers she put up, led in runs, tied for home runs, was up there top 5 RBIs, and only player to have over 1,000 slugging. So pretty good season, I guess, to say.
That's fair to say. I mean, a good season for Balzer, a good season for the Saints in general. We talk about the statistical dominance, tying for first in terms of their record. 22-2 is the same identical record as the first place Durham Lords. But the St. Clair Saints are the team that scored the most runs and allowed the least. So.
And I think the scary part about this team is, you know, we talk about how good their offense is, but their defense is also very, very strong. You look at Shaylin Murphy at shortstop. We were highlighting it yesterday. Me and Kyle Dalton were highlighting it. And
KD.
Yeah, she was making plays over at second base like it was nobody's business. Strong throws across the diamond. Then also Jacqueline Uchin at first. Solid defensive first base. And you have Kressler, who usually plays third. This team is very sound all around. First pitch swinging was Riley DeVries and pulls it foul. Question here, can Humber answer back at all after the big inning from St. Clair? DeVries, they have the right hitter up. She leaves that one down, ball 1. It'll look like this, DeVries, Tuck, then Russo, the 3-2 up.
It'd be huge if the Hawks could get something on the board here.
DeVries popped it to the backstop, but off the fence.
As we're approaching the halfway mark of this ball game, right now it's, unfortunately for the Humber Hawks, looked a lot like the season thus far against the St. Clair Saints, which has just been an uphill struggle.
Will Kressler go to that off speed? She does, and right there, catching the inner half. Again, if you're a hitter, you gotta kind of see that tendency a little bit. Kressler, she likes to get out ahead of the batters and then nail you with that off speed. Kayla Tuck reached via Walker last time up. We'll watch strike 1 go by here.
Little shake of the head from Tuck.
Check swing over to first, but foul. Checks at a high one. Does she go around? No, she didn't.
Kressler has looked strong pitching for St. Clair.
See if she can continue that trend, and fouled off. Over. Uchin makes the grab. So 2 up, 2 down there for Humber.
And just not exactly the type of production the Hawks are looking for right now. St. Clair getting those 2 quick outs. But Zach, at this point, just a little bit of magic here in the top of the 4th would be big for the Humber Hawks. Got to get some sort of momentum established here on the offensive side.
Check swings that, gets away. So ahead in the count here, 2-0 is Russo.
St. Clair is the defending provincial champion. They took home Ontario gold last year. The year before that was Durham.
Russo check swings, appeal down to first. She did not go. So behind 3-0 here is Kressler.
Zach, past 3 years we've had 3 different provincial champions. Humber in 2019, Durham in 2021-22 season, and St. Clair last year taking home the gold.
Pitch called strike, so back in here in the fight is Kressler. Behind 3-1, and yeah, like you said, these 3 teams, well, they've been the top in the OCAA for years. Second pitch off speed. A lot of trust, and when she's established it early like she has, you're able to go to the well like that.
Humber has gone back-to-back bronze medal results, hoping to avoid the three-peat at bronze here. Any OCAA hardware is good to take home, but the Hawks have their eyes set on gold.
Off-speed pitch once again and went right back to the well, and Brianna Kressler, she's looking dominant right now on the mound.
Another look at strikeout number 1. That was right off the hop. Then we had this quick pop out, snagged by that St. Clair dugout. And then our final out of the top of the 4th off a strong pitch from Kressler, framed in there. Out number 3. I do like this ump's strikeout call, Zach. Choreography is strong.
Yeah. And look here at St. Clair, who's due up? Julia Brusso, Jacqueline Uchin, and then Judy LaFleur. The bottom 3 are due up for the Saints. And on the side of Humber, really, you know, it's just been a dominant pitching performance.
So we'll have a couple more warm-up pitches, and again, Skugall just stepped into the game for Humber. The second home run shot of the game for the Saints, making it a 3-0 game. And that spelled the end of the afternoon for Shade Hansen. So Humber took out their rookie pitcher. They subbed in another first-year pitcher, Zoe Skugall. And let's see if the Hawks can use that as a spark. Make some steps in the right direction. Zach, last inning was very productive offensively for St. Clair. Can the Hawks contain that, or does St. Clair pick up where they left off?
That's the question we have in our minds. Good start, though, by Skugall. In there for strike 1. Again, Brusso, she got the scoring started. It was a deep fly to center field. This shot down right field side out of play. Here comes the 0-2. Just missing outside. Nice pitch, though, by Skugall.
Yeah, tough for Skugall facing off against Julia Brusso. Brusso hitting a home run earlier in this game. Gotta think number 2's feeling pretty good at the plate. Confidence high.
Lone in the dirt, evened up here, 2-2. Big cut at an off speed for strike 3.
And that is got to be a good feather in the cap for Skugall to get that quick out, not allowing St. Clair to get the ball rolling right away, just as they did in inning number 3.
And I'll bring up first base, Jacqueline Uchin. Grounded out to third her last time up. It was first pitch swinging. This time watches one go by. in the dirt. Tuck, very active back there. Already blocking a lot of dirt balls. Catching the zone there. So falling behind here, 1 and 2.
But Jacqueline wasn't a huge fan of that call, but a favorable count for Scugall. Looking for strike 3.
And pulling the trigger. It's like that off speed for Scugall in this at bat. She's kind of slipping a little bit out of her hand. So evened up here, 2 and 2. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, and staying alive is Uchin. We'll do it again. Here's the 2-2. Not chasing and battling all the way back. Credit Jacqueline Uchin here. Went down quickly, 0-2, and has battled her way back to a full count. Here's the full count pitch. Ground ball hit to first, gets past Handfelt, and it's a base hit for Uchin.
That's a big momentum play in favor of St. Clair, where it looked like Humber was maybe going to make quick work of the Saints in this inning. That's going to help get the offense established, and that'll bring up the next batter in the order for the Saints, Judy Lafleur.
And Judy Lafleur, she's had a good postseason, grounded out the pitcher her last time up. Squares around a bunt this time, but goes foul. Squares around again, not called a strike, she pulled back in time.
Calls in, 1-1 count.
Here comes the 1-1. In there, strike 2, nice pitch. And since coming to the game, Zoe, she's looked really strong so far. Couple base hits, but other than that, it's been a fairly good appearance here for number 8.
Yeah, no doubt. Certainly some good vibes stepping into this game as Hawks are down 3-0.
Low and outside.
But it's going to need to be a turning of the tables if the Hawks want to keep their season alive, if they want to improve on the last 2 years and not settle for bronze. It's going to take a big turnaround effort.
Sky Zist, the shallow center field. Shea Hilpert's there, makes the catch for out number 2.
That's good news there. So like we said, the St. Clair Saints, after really just getting good hits in that bottom of the third, here in the fourth, the Hawks have looked a lot stronger, getting those 2 outs. Outs were very elusive just an inning ago, and now at the top of the batting order. Let's see if Humber can just get that last out. Keep St. Clair at 3 runs.
And it'll be Shaylin Murphy due up to bat. First pitch, ball. So far on the day, Murphy 0 for 1. She walked and scored her last time up on the 2-run homer from Sierra Baltzer. Here's Scugall with the pitch. Just missing the outer half. Humber dugout not agreeing with those calls. Looked pretty good on the outer half, but didn't get the call. Here's the pitch to Murphy. Cut on that one, fouled off.
Can Shaylin Murphy help increase this lead for the Saints? Dangerous batter at the top of the order for the St. Clair team.
Ground ball hit to Ferreira. She'll take it on a hop, bobbles it a little bit, go across, gets by. Uchen's getting the wave on home. There'll be a play at the plate. Not going to be in time. So the Saints score again on the throwing error by Alexis Ferreira, something we don't see all that often.
Yeah, it was just kind of the double whammy. It was initially the sort of bobbling of the ball, and then, you know, that can sometimes disrupt the rhythm, and the throw over to first was well off the mark and just kind of kept carrying. So here's a little conference going on with the Hawks players. A good move here, you'd think, Zach, to just regroup, resettle, and there's nothing on the fresh pitcher in the game. Skugall has been pitching very strong in the work she's seen thus far, but that will certainly not help the cause as St. Clair brings home another run for a 4-0 ball game, and now a runner on third in Shaylin Murphy.
Gonna bring up the scary center fielder, Sierra Baltzer, already homered in this one. Watching ball one go by low.
Just kind of feels like so far in this game, the Hawks have been chasing the play, and right now they're up, pushed against the edge right now.
Baltzer gonna watch that one go by again, so patient at the plate here. Not getting antsy. Here goes the 2-0. Low inside, 3-0.
Now, Baltzer is, like we mentioned, a dangerous player.
Here's 3-0 from Skugall. Missing low, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Third time on the day Baltzer will reach.
And you could say, well, certainly perhaps a heads-up move to just not mess around with a hitter like Baltzer, considering the day that she's had so far with that 2-run home run shot.
Yeah,
but Zach hasn't played it now.
It doesn't get any easier here. Batting champion in the regular season, .559 average, and she's already struck for 1 home run this postseason.
The Hawks just need that one last out.
Line shot to center field, Hilpert. It's gone! A frozen rope to center field off the bat of Amy Clayton. She hit a 3-run shot her last game, and she does it again here against the Hawks. Wow.
I mean, that thing just came off with blistering speed and a 3-run shot, like you said, Zach, making this a 7-0 ball game. Clayton absolutely smacked that thing. It had barely any lift on it, just clearing the fence in shocking fashion. And Zach, that will be the end of Skugall's day, as Humber will now look to Michaela Moore on the mound in what is now a 7-0 jam. Goodness gracious, I'm still not over that home run. That was
that was a line shot.
And the biggest home run of the game. And keep in mind, Zach, all the scoring for St. Clair come off those dingers. The solo run shot earlier in the game, courtesy of Brousseau. And we had the 2-run shot off of
3-run shot.
Now a 3, and that's kind of trending in a certain direction. The next step up is a grand slam. Well, hopefully the Hawks are not put in that position. But Zach, you know, the Humber Hawks have been down in this tournament before. They were in a 5-0 hole against Seneca on day 1. Hawks ultimately battling back. I think it was a 9-5 victory for Humber after that. But what it's going to take for the Hawks now, down 7, is explosive offense, getting really into rhythm and really limiting any more offense from St. Clair, which is, boy, that is a tough assignment on both spectrums there, in terms of limiting St. Clair on the offensive end and trying to get your offense going against this very tough defensive play of the team from Windsor.
Yeah, and it's going to be a challenge. They're the defending champions for a reason, right? They had a sensational run at Nationals, which got them the gold there, and They fell to Durham yesterday, but they're showing here why. They, again, scored over 230 runs in the season. And again, this top part of the lineup, 5 RBIs out of the top 4. It was the trend we saw in the regular season. Again, 136 RBIs out of the top 4 batters. Almost all of them eclipsing that 30 RBI total. I believe it was only Shaylin Murphy that missed it, but she had 29,
So the 5th-year player, Amy Clayton, with a massive 3-run shot. This will be the final day of OCAA softball for Clayton and a couple of other 5th-year players here today at Connorvale Park. So far, the Saints showing out.
Ground ball hit back to Moore. She'll just flip it over to first in time. And that'll be out number 3. But again, St. Clair strikes. It's big time this time. We'll take another look at it here. And again, it was a frozen rope just straight to center field. It never died. Look at this shot right here.
Yeah, that was just incredible pop off the bat. And the 5th-year player wearing number 55 has got her team fired up. Look at that reception at home plate. Touching down, and that is 4 runs scored in that inning, Zach. You had the 3-run home run shot, and then, of course, a run coming home on that errant throw over to first base. That was another big play in that inning, Zach. It was looking good for Humber. They got out number 1 in quick fashion. But then it was that play over to Alexis Ferreira where the ball is just mishandled. The throw over to first was not on target, and that really put things in a difficult spot for Humber. And that was kind of the emotional turning point in that inning, as Clayton would soon after hit that 3-run dinger.
Yeah, and that's, again, the story. When we talk about these top 3 teams, this is why these are the 3 best teams in the country. You can't make any mistakes against them. And Humber, it was just the one throwing error that led to another, and 4 runs come in that inning, and like you said, 7-0 lead here.
Hannah Koziolek will get the party started here in inning number, what are we at, 6 now, Zach? I mean, this game really flying by the Hawks.
Top 5.
Here in the 5, that's
Top
right.
5.
It's just getting later in the game, and just still have not seen the Hawks
Pulls
get
us down
on
the third
board.
base line. Koziolek will reach for a second time.
The Durham Lords warming up behind us as they right now would look to think they're facing off against St. Clair, but the Hawks with a good start here in the top of the 5th, thanks to Hannah Koziolek getting on base. Humber needs a run.
Called strike right there on the Hawks first base, Melissa Hanfeld. Strikeout swinging last time up for Hanfeld. This time pulls the ball, but foul.
Can Hanfeld give the team a good spark?
Off-speed pitch, not going to catch a corner though. Hits this one to right field, drifting back, making the play there is LaFleur. So that'll be out number 1.
Megan Muir coming up to bat. Megan Muir, one of those 5th-year players, established herself as one of the Hawks' greats.
First pitch swinging here, strike one, and yeah, one of the greats and showed why over a 5-year tenure here. One of the best pitchers in program history, like we said, if not the best pitcher in program history.
Taking a swing at that slow speed. Down 0-2 in the count. Humber got a good start in this inning with Koziolik getting on base. Haven't followed that up quite yet.
Another big cut there to Riser. Man, that'll be the second out. Muir falls behind, and again, it's been tough. Brandon Kressler just working quickly here. These batters, they get in the box so fast.
Hawks have really only had one, maybe 2 innings where the offense has been moving and grooving, but ultimately runners getting stranded and still scoreless.
First pitch swinging here is Shea Hilbert. Second pitch swinging as well, and behind here quickly 0-2, and Kressler wasting no time.
Yeah, the Saints just remain in the driver's seat. They just really have not allowed the Hawks any windows of opportunity on either side of the field.
Missing high, taking off for second as Koziolik gets into center field. She'll be going over to third. Throwing to third, not going to be in time, gets away. So it'll be a stolen base and then a throwing error off of Ashley Ventura. Koziolik standing there at third base.
The Saints have secured 2 outs, but Humber now looking like they're threatening to get on the board, and that would be certainly a step in the right direction, but they need more than just solo runs coming home at this point.
Hilbert, a little pop-up back to Kressler, and that will retire the side. The Hawks starting to try to threaten with a leadoff runner on Hannah Koziolik, but can't get her around and in to score.
Number for our 50-50 draw. That number is 673-335. Again, 673-335. If you have this number, there is a yellow tent on the first base side dugout. Please go down there and collect some cash if you have that number.
So we've played here, and so far this game started back at noon. An hour and 20 minutes later, it's the St. Clair Saints who have really started off in the driver's seat and have not relinquished that position. But Zach, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And for the Humber Hawks, 7-0 deficit. You'd have to kind of look back in the stat book if they've been in this type of hole this season and have managed to come back. But one thing we do know is that there have been 6 games completed against the St. Clair Saints. Humber has yet to find a W in any one of those matchups. Here in the 7th match of the season against these two teams, it's looking a lot like what we've seen so far. The Hawks have just not been able to solve the strong defensive play and the incredible defensive-offensive combo of this St. Clair Saints team. Right now it's the famed St. Clair offense back up in action. Leading off, Olivia Peterson. That's Olivia with an A.
Yeah, man.
Must be European.
Playing second base today. Pulls this one down left field side.
It's good hit that time, but well foul, but some good pop off the bat. Keep in mind, we just saw last inning Humber resort to their 3rd pitcher of the game, Michaela Moore, in the mix.
Moore, one of those senior players this year. Pulled here, Ferreira at third. Gets it and makes the grab.
For St. Clair, number 26, Ashley Ventura.
Ashley Ventura looking to send this ball along the Ventura Highway and keep the scoring going for St. Clair, which has been a few innings where the offense has just exploded.
She had a hard line drive to Russo at second, which resulted in a double play. This time hits it to the left side and through the gap. So it's a base hit here for the rookie catcher.
Brings up the player who opened up the scoring here today, Julia Brousseau.
And you said it, Brousseau, she opened up the scoring. It was a home run to dead center field back in the second inning. Head here, 1-0. Ground ball hit to Hanfeld, called foul. Close play down that line. Thought it might have been fair for a second, but hits this over the head of a leaping Velauci.
Yeah, finding that gap, and that will allow the rhythm to continue here. Hawks have secured one out here in the bottom of the fifth, and don't like to see this. Now, this is what the Humber Hawks need when they're at bat, Zach, is just that sort of flowing offense, things moving and grooving, disco dancing. And right now, it's the St. Clair Saints who have disco danced their way to a 7-0 lead.
That'll bring up first base Jacqueline Uchin. She singled her last time up after working a pretty good at bat. Fell behind quickly and battled back and eventually got on base. That was against Zoe Skugel. Kayla Moore here trying to get out of trouble. 2 on and 1 out. Ground ball hit right up the middle, through for a base hit. Getting the red flag over at third was Ventura. So another base hit for Jacqueline Uchin.
And now, for the first time today, the Hawks are staring down the barrel of a loaded bases situation. Now, Zach, we mentioned, we've kind of seen the scoring, an interesting kind of almost satisfying trajectory for the St. Clair Saints. There's a single run home run, a double shot to bring home 2, then a 3-run home run shot. All that we said was left was the grand slam.
Now batting for St. Clair, number 8, Madison Barber.
And Zach, like you pointed out to me, this would be the mercy rule if the grand slam did materialize.
So we'll see here. It looks like we have a new batter coming in. Trying to look at my scorecards here, trying to figure out who it is.
I think Madison Barber, number 8, up to bat for St. Clair. Barber, a second-year player by way of Caledon, who went to Humber View Secondary School. So maybe a little bit of love for Humber College. Going on a little name similarity between the two institutions.
Pop this one back foul, and she's behind quickly, 0-2.
Barber on the year had 20 hits in 45 at-bats. 444 average.
Hits her.
And
So
they
run will
up
score.
there.
Ooh, clocked her right off the, not sure if it hit off one of the shoulder blades or not, but
She just kind of gave the Arthur Fonzarelli
I'm okay.
double thumbs up.
I am okay.
And now back to the top of the batting order, and this is where things have really been tough for the Humber Hawks.
Yeah, you look at what Shaylin Murphy has been able to do today on base 2 times, and then right behind her, the powerful, powerful Baltzer. Murphy's going to watch one go by. Moore trying to get out of this jam. Murphy hits that, grounds it. Throws it home in time. So no run scores, but the bases will remain loaded on the fielder's choice.
And that brings up Sierra Baltzer, who we saw hit a tremendous home run shot earlier in this game. This is a tough spot right now for pitcher Michaela Moore. And we know Baltzer, famously the hardest working woman in show business.
Show business. We've seen what she's been able to do today. She homered in her second at bat and walked twice. 1 for 1 today. She's had a fantastic day at the plate. That one going high. And again, the slugging was over 1,000, partner. And that's not something that's easily done. That's a hard task. Not only had 6 home runs, 22 extra base hits.
The walk, not an option here because you have Clayton on deck. Clayton hitting a home run in her last at bat.
Pop fly over to the dugout. Foul. So 1-1 count.
Talk about being backed into a corner right now. Humber Hawks down 8-0. Bases loaded. Moore sending in the pitch.
Here comes the 1-1. Skies this to right field. It's shallow. Koziolek coming in. Can't make the grab. 1 run scores. The second run will score as well. And so does the third, but doesn't matter because I believe that is the mercy rule.
Yeah, Zach, that looks like it's the ball game. 10-0 or 11-0 will be our final off of that last play. And the Humber Hawks will have to settle for bronze medal for the 3rd straight year as the St. Clair Saints will head on to the gold medal game against the Durham Lords, who now are finishing their warm-up.
So that'll do it, like I said. And again, just what a phenomenal day, really, just looking at what happened here. Tough finish for the Humber Hawks, and a lot of players, you know, wearing their emotion on the sleeve. It's a hard-fought battle. They did it to the very end. Humber, sensational year. We had the honor of covering them all year long. Here's the player of the games.
Zach, you know, so much emotion too. A lot of these players are not only playing in their last game, but their teammates have to wave goodbye to players that they've.
And you see the emotion there. It's the backstop, Michaela Tuck. She leaves her heart on the field and between the lines.
Give credit to a St. Clair team who
From Humber, number 12,
performed here today. Koziolek getting the player of the game nod for Humber.
Koziolek, the 5th-year player, sensational career as a Hawk, really displayed why she was so dominant over her entire tenure. Congratulations to her for the player of the game, and congratulations on a phenomenal Hawks tenure, 5 years.
Posing there at home plate with Humber Athletic Director Ray Chateau.
And the one that got the scoring started, Julia Brusso. Give credit to her, that big home run to get everything rolling for the Saints.
Well-earned player of the game distinction there. Zach, is that opening home run really kind of set the tone on a home run heavy 12 o'clock game for the St. Clair team.
Sorry, now we have our tournament all-stars from the bronze medal team. From Humber, number 9, Michaela Tuck, and number 2, Alexis Ferreira.
And here they are, the 2 all-stars from Humber, Alexis Ferreira and Michaela Tuck, 2 players that had a sensational postseason. Look at Tuck, what she was able to do offensively, hit a home run in her last game, and Alexis Ferreira, 5 RBIs in the first play-in game. Congratulations to the both of them, and again, Ferreira, that was her final game as a Humber Hawk, donning that jersey. The best power hitter in program history. Partner, I frankly might say one of maybe the best player in program history for Humber.
Yeah, and just a great human being as well. Love chatting with Alexis Ferreira pre and post game. Have the handshakes going on here, and we'll have to wave goodbye to a couple of great OCAA players here. Of course, Hannah Koziolek also hanging it up after 5 years of great performing. softball action here. Megan Muir also has just played her final OCAA game. And Zach, you know, I think athletes have all been in that position where you have to hang it up with a certain program. And, you know, it's interesting to see how many players stick around. You know, I'm here at the Humber Hawks home games. You have on the crowd here today a lot of former athletes. It's just that family atmosphere. Players want to stick around. And a good effort, but the Humber Hawks not able to overcome here today this St. Clair team, who now move on to the gold medal game. That's scheduled for 2 o'clock, so in about 30 minutes time, we will have that game here right at Connorvale Park, live on the Hawks Sports Network.
Medals for the Humber Hawks. Number 1, Allison McLaughlin.
And we'll have the bronze medal presentations here for the Humber Hawks. And again, like you mentioned, all those players playing in their final games as a Humber Hawk. And I mean, again, sensational careers all around. Again, Lexis Ferreira, one of those players in her final year. Best power hitter, steady at third base her entire career. And again, just one of the best players we've seen don Humber's logo.
Number 3, Shay Hilbert. Number 4, Michaela Brown. Number 5, Megan Muir.
Tip of the cap to Megan Muir, 5-year tenure as a Hawk. The best pitcher in program history. She's been dominant. Again, another fantastic player ending her career today.
Number 6, Michaela Moore.
Michaela Moore pitching in her final game as well today. Very statured career. Very good finish to a solid career here as a Hawk pitching.
Number 7, Reese Veloci.
Yeah, Veloci with some great play here in the tournament.
Number 8, Zoe Skugel.
Forward to seeing more of a lot of the returning players. Certainly going to lead the Hawks. And, you know, Zach, 3 straight years of the bronze medal, but a lot of great returning players. And we talked about Shade Hansen as well. Michaela Tuck saw get emotional post-game.
Number 10, Julia Dubuono. Number 12, Hannah Koziolek.
Koziolek, again, a statured 5-year career, had her best season this year, laid it out all on the field. Gotta have nothing but respect.
Melissa Honfeld. Number 15, Riley DeVries. Number 16, Madison Bolson. Number 18, Angelina Bonberry. Number 19, Shade Hansen. And number 20, Amelia Russo. Now for our coaching staff, starting with Student Equipment Manager Brianna Clark. Therapist Nicoletta Coppola. Assistant Coach Alexa Vassos. Assistant Coach Megan Murphy. Assistant coach, Maddie Pasma.
Assistant coach, Brandon Costa.
Zach, we talked about players wanting to
And head coach,
stick
Liam
around
Cole.
after their playing career in Humber. All 4 assistant coaches for the Humber Hawks are former student athletes. 3 softball players and 1 baseball player.
The Humber Hawks.
Tip of the cap to this Humber Hawks team. A great season. Taking home the bronze hardware once again. And Zach, I think a lot of positives to build off of heading into next year.
Yep, for sure. Good squad all around. And, well, like you heard on the PA,